Welcome to the Odd Pod, where we're talking Kitchener Rangers hockey with the AudBalls themselves, Andrew and Justin. Take it away, fellas.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Justin.
7 in a row. 7 in a row. 7 in a row.
Points in 12 straight. Wagon.
Hot rod. I don't even know what to do anymore. If we take our sample size of the last 5 games, we will never be defeated again.
They're going to run the table on the OHL, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we lost 2. We got 1 shootout loss, 1 OTL, and that's it.
That's it.
64 wins.
Yeah, get us. You know what? As an Oilers fan in the NHL, I would like that team to get a stomach bug, poop their pants for a game, get embarrassed. Well, they already did.
But
But
they got superpowers.
and then, yeah, exactly, become the X-Men of that league, because that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Is mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who plays together. It doesn't matter who gets suspended or who gets injured, who comes back from injury.
No.
This team just gels.
They just work.
Yeah.
The whole team works together.
Yeah.
It doesn't, whoever's out on your line, it just works.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we played 3 games.
We played 3 games.
We won all 3 games.
Do you remember when we used to do the segment, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Vaguely.
Very vaguely, yeah. That was many moons ago, many episodes ago.
I have the template still, but I don't know what it does.
Right. I couldn't tell you anything bad or ugly about anything at this point.
We have to do 3 stars for all the games this week.
Again. Yeah.
I'm almost running out of good things to say.
I want to criticize something at this point.
I'm not so equipped verbally with the positive.
I was going to say, this is an extremely positive podcast.
Yeah.
Because they're not giving us anything to complain about.
No, and I don't want to anyways.
True.
Okay, so game 1 was against the Erie Otters.
The Erie Otters.
We won 6-2. What's your first star?
My first star, Matthew Hlacar.
Yeah.
Matthew Hlacar-izard. The man evolved into his final form in this game and made the Erie Otters look like a little brother. So he had 2 goals in this one. He took over. He looked he looked like a seasoned vet, and it's this early in the season, so I'm excited about his development.
Baby Matthew Charmander
Yeah,
started this game.
exactly. Yeah, he skipped the Charmeleon.
Yeah.
The Charmeleon, we never saw it. He
didn't need it.
He just powered right up.
He was also my first star, and because how could he not be? I did write that we came in hot and ready, and the Hlacar-izard created a little crispy edge for us.
He did. He scorched him.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
My second star for this game was that, we scored first, and we won.
Nice. Breaking the streak.
Breaking the streak. But it does seem like maybe if we score first, we have to score 3 to make it work.
Okay. This is the trend.
Yeah, because I think that happened in this game, and it happened in Sarnia as well.
Okay. All right. Not to get ahead of ourselves.
No, but
that is what the data. That's the data.
That's the data. That's what we have our advanced analytics team here at the AudPod Network.
Okay.
Analyzing.
We're analyzing. We ran it through the yeah, exactly. The AudPod data computer. Anyway, that's funny that you say that, because obviously we were watching the same game, and my second star was the Swick start. Oh, sorry, I meant the quick start.
No, let's see what you did there.
49 seconds. Trent Swick. He, like I said, I called him in an earlier episode. He's the big man on campus.
Yeah, man.
He's back. He's going to hit the over on the point totals from episode 1 or episode 2 when we were making.
No, it's almost embarrassing now, the number that you gave me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. He's going to blow it away. He is a man amongst boys. We kind of knew that coming into it, that was going to happen. I just didn't think we were going to see this kind of offensive production this quickly.
Yeah.
This quickly. Out of the entire team, but also, the guy's just putting up 2 and 3 points, and if he doesn't, it's you can remember at least 2 10 bell saves on him, or he hit the post, or you know what I mean, or they had a goal called back. Every single game He's just like a leader. And he's also a great big dude who throws his weight around and creates space for the other players on that top line.
Although, like, obviously he is super offensively useful on this Kitchener Rangers team, but he's a utility player. He does everything. He back checks well. Like, he's always in it.
Yeah, he's just straight up a leader. It's really cool, his story. I'm looking forward to following him because he has the size and I think the work ethic to succeed at the highest level. I'm really excited to watch his career in the sense of not getting drafted. And then not getting drafted, and then getting drafted, and getting drafted late. And knowing what I saw last year in limited games that I did watch, I could see that like that was a player and that was a potential big winger that every team is looking for. So I was surprised to see him go later on in the drafts. And obviously, once again, I will mention I'm very sad that he's with Vegas. I'm happy for him. I'm happy because, I mean, it probably one of the best places to play.
I'm sure.
And as far as like income tax and, weather and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty good. However, I'm not looking forward to seeing Trent Swick in the corners in a Vegas Golden Knight jersey. So
with the shiniest helmet.
Here's hoping he doesn't end up there, but ends up with a long career somewhere else, somewhere more favorable. Yeah, somewhere copper and blue and orange, perhaps.
I was thinking he would look really good in red and white.
Team Canada.
Also, yes. Okay, what's your third star?
I had to go with the penalty kill. I think that the special teams are rolling. It was a weakness in those first games, just generally the special teams, both sides. Yeah. But the penalty kill was 4 for 4 in this game. They just look composed. I think that's the thing. So I think the reason why I'm questioning it with the third star is just that if we had our special teams figured out early on, would we be undefeated? That's all I'm saying.
It does feel
that's all I'm saying.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
I didn't write down specialty teams for this game.
Yeah.
This is the only game I didn't write down anything about specialty teams.
Well, I will be honest. Yeah, special teams are involved in all 3 of my 3 stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, again, not to jump ahead to Sarnia too much, but nobody could stop talking about the special teams.
Yeah.
Against Sarnia.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, my third star, I got a call out. I have to read this off my computer. It's a quote.
It's a quote. We have a quote. Do we have a hater?
From, well, not directly at us.
Okay.
But the Erie Otters tracker on Twitter.
Oh.
He wrote on Friday, pregame.
Okay.
If the Otters sweep the weekend, which I think they can because I believe that Kitchener are frauds, they'd get the top spot in the West. Who's top spot in the West, Andrew?
Well, not Lil Bro Erie, that's for sure. Lil Bro's had McDavid, couldn't win nothing. What's this now? You're just suddenly calling us frauds?
Yeah,
fraudulent whole organization. All right? You should draft a generational player and let him break his hand in a fight again. How about you do that? All right? You think we forgot that?
I didn't know that.
That happened.
Wow.
Yeah, so Lil Bro. But yeah, no, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Keep your opinions about us to yourself.
You right? Keep my team's name out your mouth.
Okay, so game 2 against Erie. We won. This one was tighter. We won 4-3 in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jumping in here with my first star because all my stars tonight. Is this true? Yes, it is. All my stars.
Fact checked.
Yeah, I had to fact check.
Fact checked on the fly.
All my stars tonight, there's a theme. They all have to do with special teams.
Special teams.
So the first one is obviously our first shorthanded goal of the season from Elena's.
Nice.
It was a beautiful goal.
Yes. He scores those. That's pretty much all he scores. Have you noticed that?
Goals?
This is, beautiful ones.
Oh, beautiful goals.
Yeah, he's like he pretty much only gets beauties.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he has lots of opportunities for other types of goals, but the ones that go in are like the most high skill ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a great PK. Like the peak, as you said in the last game, we were undefeated. Like our PK it just feels like a different unit.
Yeah,
than
definitely.
It was like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what changed, but yeah, the juice has it rolling. So the coaching staff just literally turned it around. They went from zeros to heroes on special teams.
Yeah, it's great.
My first star,
Yep.
our guy, the original Odd Pod guy, Jackson Parsons.
I don't know if
He win the game. I just talked all this trash about Erie. It was actually a really good game.
It was
close. Really close game. I thought the Rangers were going to blow it on 2 occasions. The second goal that Erie scored and the tying goal that Erie scored, I felt a little bit deflated because I do, as much as I trash talked the Erie guy, I do think Erie's a good team.
They are a good team.
I actually don't have any problems with Erie. I think that they're a good team. I like watching Erie play hockey. They play good hockey. They're competitive. They're fast. But Parsons stole a couple of those. Could have went in and could have ended the game. And I just feel like Jackson Parsons is still the guy, our guy, and will always be the original Odd Pod guy.
He will be.
So,
like, they also went with him for all 3 games this weekend.
I know.
It's kind of surprising.
I was looking at the goaltending statistics, and he has, like, played the most games by far out of, like, the top 10 goalies in the in the OHL. Like, he's up to 11 now. Now, don't get me wrong. I think this is a great way to deal with Schabel's development.
I
is to not, like, and not only that,
him.
this is also the last, this is the last time that Jackson Parsons is going to be a Ranger, right? So, like, you got to utilize a guy that talented when you've got him.
Absolutely.
By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it. He stopped 37 out of 40.
Yeah, I know. It was, Erie pelted us in that game, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of good things to say because we won. But it was a hard-fought game.
It was a great game.
Okay, what's your second star?
Oh, the dynamic offensive duo. They play on different lines, but I'm calling them the offensive duo because I think they're 2 of the best finishers on the team, and that's Elenis and Misseljevic.
Yeah.
They combined for 11 shots and 3 goals in this game. They are just, it's the 1-2 punch. If Misseljevic's not on the ice, Elenis is on the ice, and that's the guy that you got to worry about, and it's vice versa, right, at all times. So you've got these 2 elite drivers as far as, being finishers, and I just don't know how you would game plan for these 2 guys in a 7-game series because, like, I still don't think we've seen Elenis's peak production. Like, he's obviously producing very well. I still think there's another gear there as far as, because I'm seeing high danger chances not go in, and Misseljevic is just always finishing. He's unbelievable.
It's way more shocking when he misses the net.
It is. Yeah, he is an elite finisher, and he just looks like a guy that everybody in the opposing rink holds their breath when he's going in there and he's got the puck or he's taking a shot. It's just like, uh-oh.
Their vision is sort of unparalleled.
I think, like, the crazy thing is like right across the top 2 lines, not only are they well coached in that they know where to go, they just know where each other are.
Yeah, and they find the time and space to make the things happen.
And when you have a shot like Elenis and a shot like Misseljevic, like, that's just going to propel you to be where they are in the statistics.
And then you have other guys like Lamb and Reed, just like with the bomb from the point and the passing. Like,
they're just, it's just everything's rolling.
Everything clicks.
There's nothing that we can say right now really critical of this team.
My second star, just continuing my theme, power play. So the first power play, we got 6 shots on goal, and they were all good chances.
Oh yeah,
they were legit.
It's rolling.
It felt so good. It felt like there was like a high pressure moment. It was like, I actually feel like we might score on this power play.
Yeah,
I mean, we did eventually score we got the tying goal on the power play. So it was like very important, like, defining moments in this game, but it was that first one. I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't even know who I was watching. I'm like, is this our normal power play?
They were rolling.
That sometimes can't enter the zone.
They've clicked.
They do.
Yeah. What's your third star?
My third star hits to the head.
Oh,
not a big fan.
Well, that's gonna be an issue later in this podcast we're gonna talk about.
Mm-hmm.
However, I totally understand that. I mean, there is sometimes I think there's an intent, and then I think sometimes there is a unfortunate timing because you're taking a risky hit.
I agree.
I think one was a bit more of that one than the other one.
Yes.
Without naming names and pointing fingers, but I do think that ultimately you got to make a safer play.
Yep.
And if a guy turns his head at the last minute or whatever, it's still on you because you're initiating.
You're the
contact.
one that's going.
And I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say that, because I said that exact thing about the knee on knee against Windsor. I said, you've got to be responsible for your body.
100%.
You've got to be responsible for your body. So that ties in with my third star, which was surviving the 2 5-minute majors.
Yes.
They did give up 1 goal on one of them, but 10 minutes worth of,
They also drew some penalties in those as well.
Yeah,
so they were able
exactly.
to sort of negate a few minutes of those.
Yeah, and this ties into it in that I said surviving the officiating, because I felt like there was also just some. I thought it was actually pretty appropriate that there were blind refs sitting in Erie.
Yes, there were.
There was a whole
for
section
Halloween
for
night.
Halloween night because I couldn't tell if they were letting them play because they weren't, because they were calling.
They were calling a lot of things.
Yeah, on both teams. I'm not saying.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
But
not-
there were a lot of penalties.
There was a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
But then there was like some very obvious. I can remember at one point, Elenis took a trip, got tripped. And I was like, well, you gotta call that.
Who didn't see it?
Right? And there was no call. So I just didn't understand the consistency. But there's going to be games like that.
Yeah,
And they survived it.
they did.
And they didn't make it easy on themselves with the 2 5-minute majors and misconducts and, now suspensions.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, we're referring to Labrache and Botno.
Yeah.
So, and those are guys that I like seeing out there.
Yeah,
So,
they've been really good for the Rangers this year, and not. I haven't seen any dirty intent.
I don't think they're dirty players. I think that this stuff happens. Labrache is young and huge.
Yeah, and huge.
And huge.
And he hit a small guy.
When he hit a small guy.
Yeah.
Not to excuse it, once again.
No.
Got to be responsible.
100%.
And Botno, I just think maybe it was a bit of a bad timing. You can't. It's a risky play. Don't make
agree.
that play.
I agree. A special shout out for this one. The Erie broadcast. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought they were great.
They did a great job. It's interesting because we get the single-sided broadcast for every broadcast.
We do, yeah.
So it's like, okay, when they're in Kitchener, it's like very Kitchener centric.
Yeah,
And when-
and also the Kitchener guys are honestly like the class of the league. I agree. I'm excited when it's a home game because, and this is the thing, is I can't necessarily say the same for all the teams that I root for when I watch the home broadcast.
Yeah.
Or not even just the home broadcast, but just like Sportsnet in general. I can't always say that I enjoy who they have in the booth.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that the Rangers, the team that we're following, they have great broadcasts.
Jason, Dan, and Sean are awesome.
Yeah.
As a team. But this Erie team, I also felt like they were really cohesive. They were really good together, and I felt like they were they were open to both sides. They talked about both teams
Honestly,
in positive lights.
I have heard some of these guys be super biased, and for this to be an American broadcast team, I was expecting it to be that way.
I thought so too.
I thought they were super professional, and I thought they flowed well.
I'm not calling out Saginaw, but I did rewatch the highlights today from a game against Saginaw.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna lean into it. But just start a podcast or something, guys. All right, just start a podcast. Don't
Don't put that on the broadcast.
Don't bring it to the broadcast. All right.
All right, so game 3, Sarnia Sting. I've already talked about it multiple times.
You have, because it was
Because we
fresh in our minds.
It was fresh in our minds.
Yeah.
We won 6-1.
Oh,
It was a great game.
it was a great game. Remember, let's go back once again on this podcast. We admit things that we got wrong. We said this is probably the most even matchup on paper that we are going to have so far this year.
Yeah,
Which it may have been.
I think it was.
I think it was.
all the things that I believe to be true about this matchup were true. We just dominated.
And then what happened?
Then we won. We won so much.
We won every aspect of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, all those little things, we just had the edge in everything.
Oh.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So what's your first star?
Which brings me to the man responsible. The man's getting a new nickname.
Oh, I
this
can't
week.
wait.
Vroom, vroom, vroom. That's the V8. It's always a juice, but it's also the hot rod engine that we're dealing with right here. It is the juice. He is V8 this week, all right, which is a disgusting juice.
Terrible.
All right, but it's good for you, and it turns you into a man, all right? I never finished a V8 in my life.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that says about me, but anyway, the depth scoring. Vermeulen's bumped up to line 2 because of suspensions. Scores. Mercer, 2 points, a goal and an assist, right? Grisgolia, right? Penalty shot,
Yeah.
right? buries it.
Yeah.
Right? Chromiak.
Yeah.
Right? Reed, 3 points. It doesn't matter who has to step up because the juice has the boys rolling.
Yes.
What's your first star?
I mean, my first star, it ties into a lot. There were 3 guys I wanted to specifically call out for the hardest working guys on the team.
Nice.
And that's Romano, Grisgolia, and Chromiak.
Lunch pail guys.
The OddPod analytics team worked really hard on this, and they spotted at least 10 high danger scoring chances that those 3 guys created in the first period.
Yeah, so they were just all over it.
They weren't getting the I mean, they all ended up scoring at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But it was not just like a fluke goal. It was hard work that those 3 put into individually their own efforts.
No one's going to question the effort of this team.
No.
I'm not sitting there. Now, they've been winning, no doubt, right? They've been winning, but like, even if they had lost a couple of these close games, it's not for lack of effort.
No.
So,
yeah, they play hard to the end. Yeah, it's great.
What's your second star?
So my second star is the officiating.
Oh.
So it's a good little bounce back for this.
We give credit when credit is due, sir.
So I thought this game was a really good game. I also felt, I tried to look at it from the perspective of Sarnia. Obviously, they got beat pretty bad. But I felt like the officiating was extremely fair to both teams. There were penalties called. There were things called, but everything seemed warranted. There was no moment where I was like, oh, I can't believe they called that. Everything felt like, even the offsides, everything.
Right.
It was such a clean officiated game. And I really appreciated that wasn't a part of
the fact that the officiating wasn't in the narrative.
Yeah,
is a good thing.
Yeah.
Funny flip side of that, my second star is the special teams.
Oh yeah, good.
Because they had a shorty, they had 2 power play goals and a penalty shot goal.
Yeah.
We're only missing a empty netter, and we've got the 6 different types of goals you could score in this game.
Yeah,
right? Including even strength. Basically, we had all these opportunities. They capitalized on them. That's why it was 6-1.
Yeah.
Like you said, they were penalties. It was a penalty shot. It was called correctly.
It was.
And the Rangers capitalized. And that's the difference between winning 6-1 and, maybe winning 2 or 3-1 with an empty netter or it being a close game, because it was a fairly even game as far as the officiating.
Yeah.
And they just took advantage.
Yeah, it was great.
So I just loved seeing that.
That shorthanded goal was amazing. Like it just materialized out of nowhere, and Mercer just saw.
He read the pass.
He just saw it so well.
He read the blue
and he's gone.
Pass, which is, it's so satisfying because you know that everything tightens up, right? When you're a goalie and you see the guy at the opposing blue line read the pass and streak in, you've almost beaten yourself, I think, in your brain, because you're just like, oh man, this isn't supposed to happen. Right? Like it's just for whatever reason, there's got to be some sort of, there's no data on it. I'm pulling this out of my butt, but it's like it feels like psychologically you're watching your team set up on the power play, and all of a sudden,
somebody's made a huge mistake.
Somebody's made an incredible read. Here he comes.
Okay, what's your third star?
The Elenis scrap.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
we don't need that.
He tuned him up.
Yeah,
we don't need that. Going back to what I said against when I was talking about Erie.
Oh yeah,
and trash talking him about McDavid breaking his hand in a scrap. You don't need high skill players fighting. Now, however, I went back and watched that entire shift from Elenis, and he was kind of taking some, know what, on that shift. And I understand that maybe you're just like, you know what, you're not going to do this to me.
Yeah,
and I respect that.
Yeah, the respect that he stood up for himself.
And I think that guys recognize that, and I think that that's one of the reasons that somebody, not saying that Elenis is small or anything, he's not. But a smaller guy in the NHL, Sam Gagner, would always stand up for himself. I remember one time he fought Jack Johnson, who was huge, got tuned up. But people stopped taking advantage of him because he was willing to just say, you know what, like, you're going to have to throw down if you keep doing this. So I hope that it stops there. I liked the fact that he stood up for himself and he said, listen, you're not going to slash me. You're not going to poke me in the corner. You're not going to get away with this crap. And if you're going to talk some trash in front of the bench like that, I'm just going to the gloves because Ellenus dropped the gloves first. Like it was, he was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe, Luke, if you're listening, we need your hands.
Your hands make magic.
Yeah, you score nothing but beauties. Let's keep the fights to an absolute minimum. All right? There's guys on the team who can handle business. Let them handle it.
Agree.
What's your third star, Justin?
I don't have one. I just enjoyed this game so much. I got nothing to question. I was like, this is a great one. I just am enjoying it. I don't have anything bad to say. I laughed a lot when Sean Ferfaro asked the Juice after the game about his feelings about the top 10, the CHL top 10 and the Rangers not being in it. That made me laugh out loud that he asked the coach that, and of course, in classic Juice fashion, he laughed at him and said, "I don't care."
Yeah. Which is why we are not worthy.
No, we are not worthy.
Love the Juice.
Oh, yeah.
V8 this week. And we will continue to stand the Juice constantly throughout the season because to say we're ahead of schedule, I mean, like you'd need a time machine to figure out where we are.
Yeah.
The boys are the top team right now.
They are.
I mean, Windsor is playing right now and they have games in hand. Yeah, while we're recording this.
They're playing today.
But as of right now, when we're recording, the Rangers are the top team.
Yep. Top in the league, top in the West.
Nothing more to
Other
say.
than the fact that Brampton is still in the top 10 and is 5th in their division.
Did you see during the Erie games, the graphic of the matchup tonight? They had us at 11 and they had Erie at 7.
Because that's where we are in the OHL ranking.
And I'm like, what are you watching at this point? Like, how much do you have to do to move up at least into the top 10?
Yeah, come on. Even this week, after 3 more wins, we are 8th.
Listen, OHL admin. OHL admin, powers that be, galaxy brains over there. Tell us, what are you looking at?
What are you seeing?
What is the criteria that needs to be met for this team to enter the top 5 even?
Yeah.
Tell me. I'm not even saying that they need to be top 3.
They don't need number 1. I get it.
Okay, fine. I don't know if you're saying strength of schedule. I don't know what you're looking at. Home games, away games, power play, the shorthanded goals against. Are you still holding the shorties against us?
Yeah.
Just consider us. All right. I've gone from let the sleeping giant lie to like, you know what? No,
Come on.
give us some credit. These boys deserve a little boost.
7 in a row.
You tell me they're not looking at it. They're looking at it, right?
They know.
So they know. So there's
Maybe
no
it's feeding them.
Oh, it's feeding them for sure. It's bulletin board material. Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think he passed Charmeleon?
Yeah,
Went
exactly.
Straight
Right?
to Hlacar-izard.
The Juice doesn't care about it. They don't care about it. But like, it's at this point. At this point, we shouldn't have like local reporters writing about how the league is not promoting us and not giving us any credit because it just seems like biased favoritism.
100%. Okay, only 2 games to talk about this week. So we have a game on Friday against Sudbury, and then we have a game on Sunday against Saginaw. We've played Saginaw, but we have not played Sudbury.
That's true, and we are going to be there.
Sudbury also ahead of Brampton.
The Wolves.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
Sudbury. So we got
The Wolves.
So we got 2 players to watch. I don't know. I couldn't find I was looking
Trap
up
game.
Sudbury.
Trap game.
I know.
Trap game.
I know.
Incoming trap game.
I'm worried.
Yeah, trap game. Home on a Friday night. Everything's rolling.
We're there.
And a cupcake's coming to town. We're there. We're 0 for 1, right? Yeah, trap game.
Actual players to watch. We got Kieran Walton, who is a Winnipeg prospect, leads their team with 6 goals and 17 points.
Okay, so that's good.
So he's good.
Yeah.
He's seems like he's on it. He's got a line mate, I think, Katja Delic.
That's for sure not right.
Probably said that wrong.
And we apologize to you, Katja.
He's interesting because he already has 62 shots in 12 games, so he's taking over 5 shots a night. I'm like,
this guy is like, I'm just video game numbers with the shot attempts.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where he's taking these shots. I don't know.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I'm like, So, but he doesn't have that many goals. So I'm like, either he's due for some regression or he takes low danger shot. So the next game is against Saginaw.
Yes, on Sunday. A day game, 2 p.m.
Ooh, how exciting.
Yes, a matinee.
So since we last saw Saginaw, because now we have previous games to talk about.
We do.
How exciting.
Yes, we have data.
Saginaw has gone 3-4 since we last saw them.
The slide. Yeah.
Misa, I mean, still on a tear.
Yeah, he's
26 points in 13 games.
Unbelievable.
17 goals.
This is a team, I'm surprised that they're not just crushing because the high-end talent is there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously they're missing some gel, either some gel or the talent drops off a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they won the Memorial Cup, right? So I would think that maybe they've lost some depth.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I don't know.
I tried to look up like news about Saginaw.
Yeah.
And it's literally every piece of news is game preview, Misa highlight, Misa point streak. That's like
right.
All anybody's talking about with
yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah. So Misa centers the line with Epperson and Nick Sima, who also are benefiting from Misa being the best player in the OHL right now.
Every time you say his name, like in that sentence, for example, Misa being the best player in the OHL right now, I imagine that you're just saying it like Jar Jar Binks says it. Misa the best player in the OHL right now. Annie. It just, the more you said his name, the more I started hearing Jar Jar Binks. So I don't know. I think he's too young. He never dealt with that growing up. If he was our age, he would have definitely dealt with
had a much harder life.
He would have had a much harder life. Our generation in general, much meaner, I think. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Saginaw, we play them on Sunday. The greatest Ranger of all time. The G.R.O.A.T.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
We didn't even rehearse.
Not even a little bit.
Improv.
Who's going first this week?
It's me.
It's you?
It's all me, baby.
Paint us a story.
Oh, I'll paint you a picture and I'll tell you a story, or I'll tell you a picture and paint you a story. This G.R.O.A.T., well, he was born in Kitchener, Ontario.
Whoa.
Homegrown.
Wow.
He played, this is your first hint, middle linebacker at Eastwood Collegiate with future Super Bowl champion Marcus Koch. He played with Kitchener Junior B for a year before being drafted 9th overall by the Kitchener Rangers in the 1981 OHL draft. He played in the 1981-82 OHL All-Star game and led all rookie defensemen in scoring despite being known as a defensive defenseman. He was voted the second best defensive defenseman in the league that year. He played in all 68 regular season games, scoring 6 goals and 42 points. He had 11 points in 15 playoff games. They won the 1982 OHL championship.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted 5th overall by the Washington Capitals, immediately making the all-rookie team in his first year and finishing 3rd in Calder voting. This man never played in the minors a single game in his entire life. He finished top 10 in Norris voting 16 times in his career.
What?
He never won it. What? He was quoted as saying, yeah, it seems like that award goes to the guys who score points. That doesn't mean he didn't score points. He scored points, 50 of them 8 times in his career. He was a 5-time All-Star. He was a 3-time Stanley Cup winner. He was the 2000 Conn Smythe Award winner. He played for the Washington Capitals, the St. Louis Blues, the New Jersey Devils. Interestingly enough, he was awarded to the New Jersey Devils in an arbitration case as compensation for the St. Louis Blues signing restricted free agent Brendan Shanahan. He refused to report to New Jersey initially and eventually reported 3 weeks late. After 1 season, he was named captain. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He retired with the most games played of any defenseman at the time. He's only been passed by Zdeno Chara and Chris Chelios. He's finished his career with 1,635 games played, 196 goals, 908 points, 2,785 penalty minutes. He played another 233 playoff games where he scored 118 points and had 402 penalty minutes. He infamously caused more head trauma than a Slipknot concert. He was quite literally the most fearsome, pure defender to ever play the game. His name, Scott Stevens.
Yeah. I knew Scott Stevens was coming.
Yeah.
Today.
Middle linebacker.
Because he
On ice.
He's
If
legit.
you could put a middle linebacker on ice, that's Scott Stevens.
Yes.
There'll never be another one like it, for better or worse.
Great pick. Great pick. Definitely deserves to be on the G.R.O.A.T list.
Yeah, has to be.
Yeah. My nomination for the G.R.O.A.T tonight is also a defenseman.
Ooh, a couple defensemen.
He holds a very unique record with the Kitchener Rangers for playing the most games as a Kitchener Ranger ever.
Interesting.
324 regular season games over 5 seasons, 45 playoff games. He was a member of that 02-03 Memorial Cup winning team with our friends and G.R.O.A.T nominees, Derek Roy and Mike Richards.
Who is this?
In his 324 regular season games, he has 99 goals, 200 assists.
Wow.
He was known for his intelligent and visionary play on the ice. He went on to score 38 points in those 45 playoff games.
What's a point per game?
After leaving the OHL, he went on to win the Calder Cup twice with the Hamilton Bulldogs and the Binghamton Senators in 2007, 2011, respectively.
I think this is going to really bother me when you say his name.
He got he didn't quite get 200 NHL games.
Okay.
His NHL career wasn't there.
But these are my favorite kinds of players.
He was by far a dominant Ranger. That team, that 02-03 Ranger team was unbelievable.
Next level.
So crazy. And this guy had not a small part, had a large part in this. And my nomination for G.R.O.A.T this week is Andre Benoit.
Oh, Andre Benoit. Yes. A journeyman in the NHL, but a absolute stud in the O. Love it.
He was killer in the O.
I love that. That's a great pick.
So important.
All-time most games played. That's a G.R.O.A.T.
Only 15 players have ever played 5 seasons in the NHL or in the OHL.
With the Rangers or in general.
Oh, with the Rangers.
Yeah, with the Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We know that you're out there. We know you're watching. We know you're listening, and we really appreciate it. Now just pick up the phone, call us. No, comment or email us or you make a response video or whatever.
You can call us idiots for not picking your G.R.O.A.T.
Your G.R.O.A.T. We want to hear from you. We want you to tell us who your G.R.O.A.T is. And it's okay. If we've already nominated them, we still want to hear from you. We still want to hear why you love this particular player and why he should win the whole tournament.
Okay, so we want to do some, our typical class of thank yous.
Her thank yous.
So we have, of course, Ken Bourne.
Ken Bourne.
Now we have stickers, and we got postcards.
I hear that Ken Bourne might be going to a Rangers game.
And Ken Bourne is going to a Rangers
game. I'm
game.
excited. I'm coming. Coming to meet Daddy Bourne.
Of course, we have our prodigal producer, Liam.
Oh, the phenom.
As always, and we're at the Kitchener Public Library this week, so we are to them for hosting us once again.
We love being here. They now know us by face. So I walked in, and she was like, "Yeah, you're here to record. I'll just let you in." I was like, "It's under Justin's name." She's like, "It's fine. I know you guys." So at least
this is what Cheers was all about.
This is what Cheers was all about.
Yeah.
Instead of a bar, we're at a healthy. So I think that makes us either nerds or just healthy. I don't know. Nerds.
Check us on the socials.
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at The Odd Podcast. If you have an interesting story about the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium, the Kitchener Rangers, or Kitchener Cambridge Waterloo, you can email us at theoddpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
And we'd love to hear your G.R.O.A.Ts through any of these channels.
That's
us for the week, so please subscribe. Do the things that they say to do at the end of podcasts.
Yeah, do all those things. Like, subscribe, engage, follow.
We like it all. We appreciate it all.
We need it all.
We need it all.
We want it all.
And as always, you can find us at
the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. See you at the Odd.